It's all for you.
Welcome to the Nerd Dome Podcast, episode 9. I'm Luke.
Charles.
Hi.
Sam.
Okay, so we got a question that we got yelled at for not answering, so we're going to answer
By
it
our
now.
one listener.
Our one
By our one listener that we know.
our plant that we put in the audio.
There was somebody on our Facebook.
I don't know you at all.
Awesome.
But the question was, which character do we think deserves their own solo title that hasn't had one or had one in the past and it was shit and they need another take? And Ryan had an answer right away.
The Phoenix Force.
And why?
Because it would be cool to have the Phoenix Force just flying around the galaxy doing Phoenixy stuff. We don't know what the Phoenix Force does when she's not in green.
Stuff.
Killing
We
the
don't
broccoli
know.
people?
Creating Galactus. The only thing
Causing supernovas.
Yeah, the only thing that we know that she's done outside of Jean Grey is create Galactus and some other stuff.
She was inside.
That's kind of big.
Unlike Cyclops, or unlike Wolverine, she was inside Jean Grey.
Does it also make it weird that it was later inside Scott and Emma at the same time?
And Namor.
And Namor and
Colossus
Colossus and
and
his
Magic.
little sister?
Simultaneously.
There's no pedophilia with Phoenix.
Not at all.
It was just inside.
Not at all. Just a little.
How old was Magic at the time? How old is Magic?
She's probably like 20. She hasn't aged. And
Oh, she ages quite dramatically.
well, you know what I mean. She hit an age, and then she, like Kitty, hit that age. She was 13 when
She's like
her-
20 now.
Yeah, so I think they're about the same age. Which is
Yeah,
funny.
that would make sense, actually.
I think they got to the same
They
place
did
and then
cut.
just they stopped. Like Scott's been 35 since
He's
19.
35. I
So
thought he
he's
was
been
more
like
30.
He's like 30 something since 1970. He's just kind of been
No,
there.
he was 20 in the 70s. I think he got
Really?
30 in the 90s.
So the last 30 years he's age 10.
Yeah.
I think it's when he grew that mustache with
The Corsair mustache.
Corsair mustache.
The Corsair stash?
yeah, the Corsair stash, which that's what they should rename. It shouldn't be like, Movember. It should be Corsair stash November. I know it doesn't rhyme, but it
No.
should be.
What is
But it should be.
Corsair November.
So what about you?
Corsember.
I say, to pique my curiosity, just like maybe a 25 issue run of Sabretooth.
Deadpool? You mean the one who's got like 6 ongoing? No.
80 ongoing.
And then all the special guest appearances. But no, why would you want to see?
Because I want to know his past. We've seen a lot of Wolverines, but never of Sabretooth.
Yeah.
And
He
they.
bounces. I see what he's saying because whenever they tell a Wolverine past, you get a Sabretooth past, and it like bounces.
Yeah, but you never
from
get to
the
see in
Wolverine.
between.
Okay.
I could see that.
What
But
what has Sabretooth been doing when he hasn't been killing Wolverine's girlfriends or invading his birthday?
Mm-hmm. And maybe go more into his psyche or a reason why he hates Wolverine so fucking much.
I think they.
I want to know the whole. Okay, here's what I really want to know about Sabretooth. The whole time he was with Mystique, how did that go? Like they were together, had kids.
They just
What's that story?
They just did a thing.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mouths.
She shapeshifted into like a weird lady Sabretooth.
Did she know? Did he know that she was Mystique? In the
She just went full Thundercat.
For me, I asked them, but I really didn't think of one.
Daredevil.
What? No. And I would have said Elektra, but
But
they
she
do
does.
have an ongoing one right now that's really, really good.
Are you reading the Cyclops solo book now?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought you were.
Of course I am.
It's pretty good. I heard
Greg
it's
Rucka.
awesome.
What about-
Rucka.
What about
Well, for the first 6 issues.
Colossus?
Colossus? That'd be a good one.
I like how so far all of our
Solo.
answers are in the X-Men universe.
Yes.
It's perfectly fine with me.
At this point in time,
Fuck you, DC.
Edgar's not here, so there's no Batman.
This will be the Marvel X-Men podcast. Because Edgar's not here to derail.
You know what? No, I'll go DC. I'd like to
No,
see
you
a.
won't.
I would like to,
Riddler.
I would like to see a Riddler.
Yeah, I knew he was going Riddler with that.
It would be so awesome because if you just take the way he was, where he's kind of like
In
a guy that
Gotham?
in Gotham City Sirens, he's like opened up his own private detective agency and like that's what he does now is he solves crimes that the police can't. And I was like, that would be amazing. I would love to see that.
In Gotham,
Riddler series would be
I
cool.
really liked Riddler up until the scene in the filing room, and then I'm like, oh, I don't like you at all.
He's creepy.
Yeah, he's
That's
way
the
more.
point.
He's
That's
like
the
not
point.
likable creepy. He was likable creepy earlier.
Yeah, I liked
You can't always like the Riddler.
Yeah, you can't always like him. He is a bad guy, but no, I think
He's
that
not
I
a villain.
think the Riddler would be a really good one because I think you could do a lot with him being good guy, bad guy. Kind of, you could do like what the Magneto series is doing now. He's a bad guy, but he's a good guy.
Did you just compare the Riddler to Magneto?
I believe you
said
did.
like
That is comparing.
you haven't
That
read
is
it.
literally
You
a
haven't read it.
comparison
You
word.
haven't. You haven't. I said like his series.
It's still a comparison word.
It's very
You
good.
just compared Jim Carrey
You know, it's
to
funny.
Ian McKellen.
I went back and read. I went back and
What
read
show is wrong with that?
I went back and read some of the old Dark Phoenix stuff after listening to that
Rachel and Miles Explain the X-Men, which is my
And-
new favorite podcast.
You're welcome. But the when
You
they
owe
talk
us
about
money.
when they talk about how if you want speeches, if you want the most epic speeches of all time, go find Magneto in any Chris Claremont book.
I am Magneto, and you shall not trespass.
And it will be a page and a half of exposition.
I
From
love
Four
Magneto.
scores and 7 years ago.
that would be like that. I read that and it was like, they're right. I got that.
Magneto made some valid points.
Still nothing.
Still nothing.
Still
I'm
nothing.
gonna disagree. Although Sabretooth would be kind of a lame series.
I agree.
I don't know. If you're into like the
I'd
kind of
like
like, because
I don't know.
I don't know with
I'm
his
not a fan of the whole Wolverine backstory as it is, so getting more of that would be terrible. Well, that'd be kind of cool.
You know what? Because you don't know who he. You still have no idea.
But I don't know about villains getting their own like little runs. That's what I
I
don't
like
get.
the idea of villains. I like the idea of some villains.
Like Riddler, I can understand because he's got some backstory. Is like something else he does besides fucks with Batman.
Bullseye, I don't really
You know?
want the backstory on.
You just kind of want him to be the
I
crazy
want-
bad guy. Who
Maybe
Why?
just
When
like
you-
a maybe
you
like
don't
a
know
just
why,
like an
just let
origin
him
would be
a
cool.
Crazy bad guy.
And I think that's one thing they've never explained. They just say sometimes they say he's like an ex-Vietnam assassin, but then he moved up, and they're like, oh, he just is crazy, and he's
He's
got
more
like
than one
7
person.
different names, and he doesn't have. He's not like a. They don't say this is him. He's a villain, like Norman Osborn, Green Goblin. They're like real name. He knows. He calls himself Poindexter sometimes, but then he just kills people.
I would love to see a Bullseye Dakin limited series because their interactions during Dark Avengers was delightful.
As Dark Hawkeye and
Yeah.
Dark
Yeah,
Wolverine.
there you go. What about like a combination series? Two superheroes or villains together is like
Oh, like a
issue.
team up,
Yeah, like a team up.
fun team ups.
Like him
Bring
saying
back Marvel
Bullseye and
team-ups.
Bringing back Marvel.
even if it's just 20 issues
I-
of
you
the
know-
hero versus the villain and some of the fucked up shit they're doing to each other.
I would like to see the revisiting of Deadpool and Cable.
Yes,
The old
always.
Deadpool and Cable with all the pouches and the.
Just so many pouches.
One of my most memorable reads of those interactions was after Cable died, and they had his memorial back in Russia or Ukraine or wherever the hell it was. I can't remember what they said, but you get Deadpool there going, "Sorry, I wasn't there for you, buddy." And then all of a sudden, Cyclops shows up and he's like, "Hey, I know you're pretty close." He's like, "Yeah, you could have been there for your son." He's like, "You know what? You're right. Damn right, I'm right."
More depressed Cyclops. I want happy Cyclops. Which has been the best part about this new Cyclops run is he's been happy. Like he's not like depressed and like, oh, the
he's
weight
the
of the
team-
world is on my shoulders.
the
He's
team
like,
kid.
I'm having a fun space road trip with my pops.
The innocent
He's
teen kid.
specifically.
The innocent teen
Yeah,
kid.
and I was like, good. They need more of that because
Are you trying to show off the Phoenix?
Oh no, I keep forgetting there's a camera.
he does that. He does that from time to time.
Just because you have the hood doesn't mean you disappear.
Yes, it does.
It always does.
So I obviously was wearing it out while on my way out to work from work and got stopped 10 times.
Because he didn't have like the cloak pants. He didn't have the full cloak.
Yeah.
You gotta act like a blind,
Things.
blind and deaf man. You're Helen Keller walking out of work.
Go away. That's
Just so
a team up one. That would be like, because you could say Spider-Man and everyone because that's
always fun.
what
I don't know, maybe like a
I don't want to see any more Deadpool team ups.
who would you like to see team up with Gambit?
Taken.
That would be fun.
What about like Tony Stark and Gambit? Not Iron Man,
But just
Tony Stark. Like they're trying to steal back
And
his
Gambit?
armor, and they are going to all these parties,
and
and they're going to all these parties, and they're trying to figure out through the corporate connections, and Tony Stark's trying to be low profile, but that's kind of not Gambit's thing because he's hitting on everything in the room. I think that could be fun. Not a big series.
Like a 4-issue arc.
Yeah, like a little for Gambit and Tony.
I always liked Gambit and Storm, because they do the Master Thief thing when they get together.
Yeah.
I like Gambit Storm. Stormbit.
See, and I
Couldn't go the other way. Gamborm or something.
no, that sounds like a giant celestial entity.
Behold, I am Gambor.
Come back, Cthulhu.
What about what about like Star-Lord? Who do you
Oh,
think?
Star-Lord and Tony Stark.
Yeah, but
Or-
They do kind of do that
Carol
in.
Danvers.
Carol Danvers and Star-Lord on there.
I would love to see a Carol Danvers and Star-Lord miniseries.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Captain Marvel and that'd be fucking
I'd
awesome.
put Captain Marvel with anybody.
That's
And it
true.
would be good.
Carol Danvers and Wolverine.
That would be good.
Might be good.
What? Oh,
Except for he's dead.
Let's make
so-
it. Let's make it awkward and be Carol Danvers and Rogue.
Carol Danvers and Rogue and Mystique have to be paired up on a mission.
Oh, that would leave all of the awkward. I could just
a girl's
imagine.
mission.
You know what? But they need like a guy that is like
it's a
their
girl's
Professor
No, like a guy that is their pilot that
So
just
Star-Lord
is
is
like
what you're
driving flying the ship or wherever and just observing the awkward silence that happened. And he has no idea why. No idea. He's just like, okay.
What is wrong with these people?
This is not like put the Black Panther in there or something. You have no idea what's going on.
All right, here you go. Beasts and Mystique,
Good one.
We are so X-Men centric today.
and then
It's
have them
glorious.
versus Deadpool
No.
and Daredevil, and call it Red versus Blue.
Okay.
There you go, Red versus Blue.
Just because
Nice.
of the internet memes, I would love to see the
Team Red.
the Team Reds, Spider-Man, Deadpool,
Deadpool,
Daredevil,
Daredevil. That would be
and just Spider-Man,
Awesome.
like Daredevil, the entire time face palming, like, what am I doing?
And then
here?"
Deadpool just constantly cannot get off the fact that he's fucking blind, so he fucks with him
so
constantly.
he
Like,
fucked with Montag.
guess who? You know, shit like that.
There's a shirt I saw today
Yes.
of like the Scotty Young style drawing, and it was Daredevil with his head down and the little teardrop on it, and Deadpool popping up over his bag, going, "Hey, buddy!" It's like, no. Even in Marvel Heroes, they make jokes about that. I was playing it, and he walks by Deadpool. He's like, "Deadpool, shut up!" as he's walking by. Which is, any of you guys play that the Marvel Heroes game?
I thought you were talking about Lego Marvel. What's Marvel Heroes?
Marvel
I
Heroes,
haven't
it's
seen
there,
that
the
things.
MMO. It's like the
Yeah, I can't.
And it's free to play.
It's fun. It's fun. It's
MMOs are the death of
the best part. The best part about it
I have no
is
time
like
for things.
if you're say like I'm Cyclops and I walk by a Wolverine, he goes, "Hey Logan, you seen Jean? Good.
She's dead.
Yeah. Like and they always he's like, "Hey Jean, how's it? What's her like?" Whatever character you walk by triggers a specific response between characters. So that part's pretty cool, and you can like overhear everyone talking to each other. But it's weird when you got like 15 Daredevils running through a building. And I'm like, that's only because he's the first character you get. No.
Oh, so he's the starter throwaway character.
Well, you get
So he's a
you get Rocket, Storm, Daredevil, The Thing, Captain America. I think they just kind of spread it out, and Spider-Man. They're just
So
like,
what about
there
the
you go.
Thing and Hulk in just a bodybuilding contest?
Well, technically,
with
wouldn't
Juggernaut as
the,
a referee.
wouldn't the Thing have an advantage in that because he could be like sculpt me, like it's like sculpt
That's
the
true.
Rock.
Or just a strong
But he
man-
still will
just a
not be
straight up
as big.
strongman competition. A 4-issue mini arc of those two in a straight up strongman competition.
What's that? What was that? Sylvester Stallone over the top. The
Yes.
Thor and the Hulk with the headbands tied back, and they got like the wrists strapped up. Tank tops, really tiny tank tops. That'd be fun.
I want to see
With RT.
I wanna see
With
the Marvel
RT.
strongman competition
What
miniseries.
about DC? What would you like to see DC team up?
Something good.
Aquaman and fill in the blank. Okay, yeah.
Here you go.
Aquaman
Here you go.
and
Aquaman and
See,
Human Torch.
Let's do a crossover with
Human
Aquaman and
Torch.
Namor.
Dude, I would love to see that.
I would
Aquaman
too.
and Namor crossover.
That would be freaking
Because
awesome.
Namor is such an asshat, but it's glorious how much of an asshole he is.
See, I don't know. I've actually started reading the Aquaman comic, and I don't know that I can like Aquaman as much anymore. Because the newest run, like, it's just
Post Jeff Johns?
No, current with Jeff Johns. Like the first trade, it was just the writing was
Really,
just
the first
rough.
trade?
It
I
was-
really enjoyed the first trade.
about halfway through the jokes that they were making, the whole it's Aquaman and Aquaman being a joke in his own
Yeah,
universe,
it was funny the first
it got old.
issue. Like,
It
with
got
Aquaman, I thought he was
really-
a joke on Conan.
Really old.
Yeah.
Fish
And
sticks.
really bad.
Yeah, I would like to see Namor and Aquaman.
Namor and
That would be
Freaking
fantastic because I think Aquaman would be pretty much on damage control the entire time. He'd just be like, I'm sorry, he's an ass. I'm just constantly
Apologize.
apologizing for him the entire time. DC. What about like? And again, I don't know if they've done these before because I'm not a big DC reader. But what about like?
Aquaman, Green Lantern.
No, I was thinking more Green Lantern and Superman because they can travel the galaxy.
Calendar
Yeah, but I don't
Man
wanna
and
see
Killer
it.
Croc.
Superman's just like, there you go. Because why not?
The
My problem with the Green Lantern Superman is that it has Superman. So
I think
that's
that I think that
myself
if,
is
if you
fun.
write Green Lantern well enough, though, I think you can negate the lack of the personality void that Superman has with comedy.
Maybe that's how you
Lantern.
introduce a
Better.
personality to him.
Could be.
so deep in space, he has
They
personality.
found
when
they
he's
found
further
a
away from the
drink in
sun.
space that gets Superman hammered, and then they get drunk, and it's like the Hangover in space, where it's Superman and Green Lantern trying to.
I would love to
place
see
back
drunk
together.
Superman and Green Lantern. That would be
That
awesome.
would be really freaking awesome.
That'd be great.
What are you talking about, you green bastard? Kabah!
Green Lantern's like kryptonite, kryptonite, freaking out the whole time.
And then they could their last splash page could be like Polaroids. That Booster Gold was taken.
Just happened to be there.
What about like Jonah Hex and Constantine?
That would not be bad,
Or
actually.
Constantine Zatanna or something like that.
Zatanna.
Constantine.
Constantine says Hannah. That would be cool.
Lots of
I don't like Jonah Hex though.
magic-y stuff.
Jonah Hex and Ghost Rider.
Yeah, but
Cowboy Ghost Rider
Mhm.
back in the day.
The old school.
What about Nightwing?
Red
Nightwing
Robin.
and no, someone out of the Bat family. What if it was like? What if it was like?
Nightwing.
No,
and-
I said out of
Oh,
the
out.
Bat family. I
Yeah,
said
out
not,
of- yeah.
not
Not in the Bat family.
not Red Robin, not Batgirl, not Jason Todd, not and not
Nightwing and
Spoiler.
Aqualad.
What about like Nightwing and like?
That's
Kyle
Teen
Rayner?
Titans.
What about like Nightwing and Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern? Personality would be funny. You guys don't know, do you?
I don't know. I haven't read Green Lantern.
Nightwing and the Spirit. Just kidding.
You know
Spirit
what?
isn't DC.
You know what I need? I'm
No,
gonna.
who is the spirit?
The Spirit is
Who's the DC spirit? The dude that was
the question.
now. Dude.
Well, Spirit's not DC.
No,
is
No,
it?
he's
No.
not. But there's a DC guy that is the spirit.
What?
Yeah.
Who are they under? The Spirit.
He's in Green Lantern. He's
This
merged
is when
with
we need Edgar.
Yeah, I know.
Hal Jordan.
Spectre.
Spectre.
Spectre's like an omnipotent being.
Is he?
He's more phoenixy.
No, he's not.
He's like the wrath of God.
I
That's
love.
what he is. The divine vengeance.
Phoenixy.
It's more like if the Phoenix and Ghost Rider were the same person, that would be the Spectre.
I feel like I need to read more Spectre stories.
Yeah, his Spectre. He
That
doesn't care.
definition sounds fucking
He's
awesome.
like, you did something wrong. I'm going to punish you for it, and it's going to be equal to what you did. You caused that man to lose his leg. So guess what? I just ripped your leg off, or he'll kill them horribly. Like it's he gives no shits. His shits level is 0. But
There's a shits level?
yes, there is.
Does everyone have a shits level?
Yes.
Everyone has a shit
Everyone has a certain amount of shits that they're given when they're born. They choose to give them or not give them.
And so he's
At
just
their
giving them all.
Shits are like heartbeats. I'm getting that on a fucking t-shirt.
Shits are like heartbeats.
You're only given so
I
many.
think we just found I think we
That's the
found
title.
the title for the podcast. Shits are like
Shits
heartbeats. You're only given so many. Oh, man. You know what I'd like to see? Well, they've kind of done it recently with like the all new Invaders stuff. Like, I'd like to see more World War II Captain America stuff. Like,
You
like
will
now.
coming in a few months.
I think I'd like that. That's a way they could bring Wolverine back into the thing.
Oh,
So
God.
he
Yes,
could-
we need to bring him back.
Dude, they couldn't do the World War II with Blackton America because he'd just be a cook on a Navy boat. No, it's the fucking truth. It's the fucking truth.
But no, you get more of that era stuff in 2 months. With Agent Carter.
I'm so excited.
Carter's
Oh,
gonna be
dude, that's gonna be
fantastic.
awesome. And she's gonna be on next week's Shield.
Yes, she
Yes.
is. I saw
Yes,
that
yes, yes.
on our Facebook page, I think.
Yes.
Probably. So whoever posted that.
Yes.
Go that guy.
That's all I do.
Who posts like 90% of the shit on our Facebook.
It's true. No,
Okay.
I posted
I posted something up today on the Facebook page about Captain Marvel, like who should play. Like there's a poll that's
Yeah, I didn't
one
know.
person
Dude.
should play her.
There was one that someone posted to Facebook the other day. I was like that's so fucking perfect because it had a picture of Captain Marvel.
Oh
and then her.
yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, they fucking are it in.
See, like I think Katie Stackhoff would be like that. She's the internet's favorite right now.
Katie Sackhoff.
She is
Katie
the one that
Sackhoff
should
wouldn't be too bad.
No, she's the perfect
She's
one.
perfect.
She is the quintessential,
But
ideal person to play that. Nobody else should
for
play.
me, you know who I think it's going to be. I
Yeah.
know I've said it. Well, I think it's going to be Emily Blunt because Marvel has been trying to get Emily Blunt in a role. They wanted her to be the Black Widow, but Fox wouldn't let her out of a contract so she could film it. So
Fuck
they
you,
went
Fox.
With Scarlett
Fireflies.
Johansson. So they've been really trying to get her in it, and I think she could pull it off. Like after watching her in that Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
like she was awesome.
I do
in
like
Oh, that
She's
chick?
She's
The-
very military.
Live, Die,
It's not
Repeat.
actually Live, Die,
Yeah.
Repeat. It's Edge of Tomorrow, which is the worst fucking name.
All
for
you
a
need
movie
is
in the world.
kill.
All you need is kill. That is such a better name. That's
That's
what
the
the comics
of the
name.
comic is.
All you need is kill is what it was, and
But
then
yeah,
they're like, right
see,
before
I
they
think she
Edge
could-
of Tomorrow.
I do
think she could do a great job.
I do like Katie Sackhoff though, and I
Those are my
actually
top
would
two.
extremely accept her as Captain Marvel just because I love her. Like, I saw her as Starbuck in Battlestar
It's
Galactica
the
series,
same character.
and it's like,
She
And-
played Captain Marvel in Battlestar Galactica.
okay,
She
and
was a pilot. She was a leader. She didn't take shit. She's a badass. But that's
she had to end turmoil.
I like. That's what I like. And I think
some horrible
One
stuff.
thing I was
She
like.
screwed a lot of guys too. No.
That was one thing I was like. She's
Oh,
supposed
really?
He just likes the sex scenes.
She's got.
It's the only reason why I like Riddick. Titties.
She's got to be old enough that
There were
she
sex
holds
scenes in
the rank of
You just get to see her
what
in
she
the
does
shower
in the Air
or
Force
after
because
a
she's a
shower.
colonel in the Air
Right.
Force or a major. So she can't be like a 22-year-old,
But
first on the
she's
scene.
super
Scarlet.
awesome.
But because that's kind of the thing too. Is she's got the Hal Jordan mentality, fighter pilot type thing too to her character, which I really like. And I think they need to bring
They just
that.
not put that together.
So
She's the female Green Lantern.
You're telling me that gravity's had to have been having an effect on her boobies.
That's, I think, yes. Everything comes back to this.
If it's Katie
Frankly-
Sackhoff, she's perfect.
Frankly, at this point, it doesn't really matter who we cast because I'm going to trust Marvel's
Marvel,
casting.
yeah,
I
they
don't
have
give a shit who they cast. I will see this movie and I will be there opening night. I will watch it probably 4 times that weekend. I am
Lots
so
of tissues.
fucking excited for this movie. You know?
It's gonna be awesome.
That was that. I was thinking, why? It's not a sad movie. And then I was like, oh, never mind.
You got the other thing.
The delayed joke gets better. I love it.
Yeah, and what about the Black Panther? Do you guys know? Have you seen the guy that they cast?
It's kind of been
for Black
under. It's
Panther?
kind of been under the radar.
I saw his picture, but I don't know.
Yeah, that
what
guy.
his name or-
I
Dude.
saw he was in. Did you see that movie?
Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White.
No. The Jackie Robinson movie.
Oh, that's the
he
one.
played Jackie
Yeah,
Robinson.
no, I didn't see it.
He was great in that. And he was also, I just watched that Draft Day movie, and he was in that too, and he was really good in that too. Like he plays like
What's his
very
name?
different. Oh, don't ask me to pronounce it. Look it up on the Black Panther. Look it up.
I know
on the internet.
people won't like it because he played Spawn, but Michael Jai White.
Michael Jai White is already what's his name in Arrow.
So?
He's
Who?
So
Michael Jai White
he's the dude that's got like the
Tiger guy.
pseudo claws.
in Arrow
In
season
Arrow.
1.
Season 1.
Tiger guy with claws and arrow.
Yeah,
Fights.
I'm
No,
Two.
season 2. You
Wait,
don't see him in
yeah,
season 1.
Yeah. And Black
Season
Dynamite. and people want him.
He's with that Asian chick with the white hair.
Yeah.
He teams up with
China
her,
White.
Dude, what is his name? The guy that I want to play?
which is a name of heroin, by the way.
Luke Cage.
Terry Crews.
That's the one.
Terry Crews.
Terry
used to
Crews.
play Luke Cage.
Terry Crews used to play Luke Cage.
I love Terry
So he
Crews.
can bust in the room and go, "Sweet Christmas." And then-
Just so you say, my name's.
And his little chest dance. Yes.
That guy?
It's that guy.
No.
It's that guy.
That's the dude from Serenity.
Michael Jai White.
It's Chadwick
He's
Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman.
He's a really young Black Panther.
I think it's gonna work. I think they're probably gonna do the because the Black Panther's passed down
Yeah.
from father to son. I think he's gonna be new to it, or he's
Okay.
so it's a good way of introducing the character. And
Mary
then
Storm with Happily Ever After.
Okay, so-
Hey, he's gonna be in Civil War apparently.
yes, yeah,
I
they
did
were,
not
yeah, they
realize
already
that.
said that.
Well, I'm behind. Apparently.
Well, because I'm thinking.
That's his introduction.
Well, yeah, at the end of the
Kinda like
they're
Hawkeye,
changing the
of course.
cast members of Avengers, so they might stick Black Panther on the Avengers at the end of Civil War.
They probably will.
See, I really
everything's gonna
do.
change.
You guys
in Civil War.
think that they're going to, like bring the other like the Netflix and the TV shows
Yeah, I
into
totally do.
Civil War? Because I think, like especially with the Defenders, I think either the Defenders are going to be heavily involved in it, or they're like I think it's going to come out right at the time where there's the split, and the Defenders are like, look, all these guys are fighting. Someone needs to keep
Someone
doing
needs to
the
stay
job.
on Earth.
Someone
think-
needs to keep doing the job.
I think that's
So
gonna be more what it
that's
is.
what-
I think that the Defenders is gonna be brought together in light of the Civil War.
yeah, because Doctor Strange.
That's when
Doctor
that's when the
Strange
Defenders are
is
gonna come
gonna-
together and go,
Is
oh
he going
shit.
to in the movie?
Well, I hope so because he is the Defenders. Like they've already screwed up the roster with the exception of Iron Fist. Of the original
Strange
Defenders.
comes out
Strange is
after
like
Civil War, right?
yeah, and so I think
It's the next one,
maybe
isn't
even
it?
Defenders will lead into Doctor Strange.
Which would be freaking cool.
That would
'Cause
be cool.
that's a great way to introduce him and tie everything together. Is introduce him in the Defenders miniseries
I'd
on
say
Netflix.
Introduce
and then,
him with when you get into the mystical part of Iron Fist. All his
Yeah.
like magic punches and stuff. There's a easy gateway right into that. You can
and that probably puts us
tweak
about the
it-
same
tweak
spot
it
because I
to
mean
say-
we're getting what Daredevil, then
Jessica
Jones, then Iron Fist,
and
then
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage,
Yeah, ending it with Luke Cage.
and then we're gonna get a Defenders something.
yeah, it's either going to be
Whether
a
it's a
movie,
movie
depending
or-
on how successful the Netflix ones are. Which
We don't know what they're doing with Defenders, but they're doing a Defenders.
Yeah, it's either going to be
Something.
a miniseries
How
on.
are they going to measure the success of the Netflix?
I don't know. Probably
Watches.
just.
Yeah.
Well, it's kinda
How
like
many
House of
stars
Cards.
it
You
gets,
can't
by how many
tell.
people, by how many views it
Yeah,
has.
They've got some supercomputer that I'm just going to call Vision at this moment.
I'm cool.
Shit, it's the same way they do it on YouTube.
Or
They have
with-
the actual.
Or
How many?
House of
It's
Cards,
basically like a like, but
stuff
they
like
actually
that.
have a 1 through 5. It's as it's. I like it this much, and I like it this much.
So I think and seriously, it says Marvel to it, and
It's gonna be
people are
fucking
gonna
phenomenal.
flock, and it's Netflix.
Well,
so it's like,
and-
what? I get $7 a month. I can
Is it
watch all of
2017 that there's a still one untitled Marvel movie floating around? They
Yeah.
claimed-
or they buried it, like they didn't.
Yeah.
put it, like they had it.
So they
and
had
then
claimed
they-
3 dates in 2017, and they've only
Maybe
announced
that might be
2
the
of them.
Defenders. That might be the.
The
Defenders.
third one is right in the middle, and they're not sure. We don't know what the hell's going on with
That'd be cool. Inhumans.
it. Humans, I'm excited for.
Yeah, and
I'm kind of excited for the entire lineup except for Thor.
really.
Thor
Thor
is
is-
you have anti-excitement for Thor. Or
No, I'm
neutral
just-
excitement for
I'm
Thor.
just neutral. I
Thor
don't
is
like.
supposed-
I'll go see it. It's
See-
gonna hold me over till the next one.
See, but what they're saying is what they did with Captain America 2, how it totally fucking reworked the movie universe with destroying Shield and shit.
Thor's gonna do that.
Thor is gonna do that.
How many
the
times
next
can they break
phase.
the world?
It's
As
Marvel.
many times
How
as they
many
want.
times do they do it a year? They do it
Rapid
every
succession.
summer. Every summer there's an event.
They're
that
doing it
changes
next
the
fucking
universe
year.
forever.
They're doing it next year in a big way, apparently. Spring 2015.
Yeah, there's
All
rumors,
hurts my
there's
brain.
rumors that after the Secret Wars thing going on that there's gonna reboot Marvel.
Nope.
That's the rumors.
They've come out and flat out said no.
Oh, they have.
They've
Okay.
said absolutely not. This is not a new 52
Good.
style reboot.
Good.
However, something's fucking changing, and what
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's more of an Infinite Crisis.
Yeah,
Like
that's
Crisis
what it
on
seems like
Infinite
because they're
They're
meshing
getting
all of
rid
the
of-
multiverse
They're
into
bringing
one
all their
battle
multiverses
world.
down to one, and they're getting rid of half of their multiverse. They're
Good.
probably
All those
I wonder if the
splinter
Exiles will
universes.
make
they're gonna trim off all those Splinter
X-Men.
universes, and they're gonna restart.
I wonder if Exiles will make an appearance.
See, if they
That's what that function.
honestly,
Maybe.
I think
And Sage merged with the
Fucking
Crystal
Sage.
merged with the Crystal Palace.
Sage.
Deep X-Men continuity here.
Because X-Men, honestly, if they're smart,
Don't even try
not
to
wanting
confuse
to
me.
confuse us, they will get all of those X-Men Splinter universes consolidated real quick. Because out
I
of
don't
all,
want Age of Apocalypse. and-
all
and
of those
the other
Splinter
one.
universes,
you only got
80% of them are from X-Men.
It's
No, you only got
No,
3
it's
major
completely
X-Men
true.
universes.
Think about it. Kitty Pryde, right?
Yeah, you have Days
When
of
she
Future
went
Past
back, right?
universe, but that's kind of done.
Yes. But when she went back, there is from that point where she changed it, that splinters into more. So that'll splinter into continuing on like nothing changed.
Yeah.
Or it splinters to
That's how Rachel came to be because Rachel's from the Days of Future Past universe.
and it's just like
But you have Age of Apocalypse. You have
Bishop.
he's from the tomorrow.
He's the one
From
from
Forever Tomorrow.
Yeah, that one. He's from that one. And then you have Days of Future Past, Age of Apocalypse, and that one, Future Tomorrow. That's the 3 major ones you got.
the major ones though, but they all if you go
Oh,
back,
I
there's
don't
even
count the
more.
crappy geeky
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Go and take those
Take all of
crappy
the
ones.
crappy geeky
in.
ones out.
Boom. That's what I'm saying. They should
That's
do
what they're gonna be
all of
doing. I mean,
little-
Why do you have to resolve them? Why
like
just
the
not
weird-
ignore them?
like because we've been doing that for
because
so
Marvel
long.
fans will let them ignore them.
It's like, oh yeah, well, what about
What about this man
what
over
about
here talking
Cable's
about
grandson
continuity?
who's in this universe who didn't?
Let's
get
bring
sick?
back Tyler. Cable's son, Tyler?
Tyler.
Yeah, bring him back.
Everyone's got these cool names.
He'll be like
And then
the
it's Tyler.
He'll be like the Ascani father.
Fucking Tyler's here. Did he bring Bear? Yeah, come on, Tyler. you
Oh,
can't.
it reminds me of Carlin's skit. Kid's named Tyler.
But then there's like I can't remember what the Earth is, but there's like the whole Earth of Avengers with beards,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
and that's literally
That's
that's it. They all have beards,
Avengers have
and
beards.
Thor was like, I had a beard already.
He was all sad.
We should be the only one without a beard in the universe.
Yeah,
That would be funny.
Just like ZZ Top.
It would be the ZZ Top
Should be the
universe.
ZZ Top
I think
universe.
that's what we shall now refer to it to.
ZZ Avengers.
Or would it just be Avengers?
Yeah. Top.
Yeah, see, I don't like It's one of those things where I'm a comic fan where I'm like, I want things
Really?
to change, but every time they change something, I'm like, why did you change that?
Because if you're one of those
I'm-
comic fans,
I'm-
I want change, but don't you change things.
I want change on certain things. Not
Change,
anything
but
that
don't
you
change.
Why was I not consulted?
do you think the Beyonder will be in the new Secret Wars? Think they're gonna bring him back?
I have no fucking clue what
Madam
Marvel's
Web.
doing.
Madam
Well,
Web.
there's something going on before Secret Wars. There's some big event that's going to happen before Secret Wars because Secret
it
Wars
all
comes
ends in 6 months.
summer of
5 months,
2015.
4 months.
It all ends spring of 2015.
See, I think that
So
is-
there's a couple months there where they're bringing something
See,
going on.
all
I don't
of that
fucking
that
know.
I've
I will
seen-
let you know when as soon as I find out.
all of that I've seen is all tied in with Avengers and all the broken time and
Yeah.
beast breaking time and all that weird shit that's going on. But
No, because he went and got the X-Men from
The
not
young-
his own timeline. He went and got the X-Men from X-Men First Class. That's those guys.
they don't really. They just say he goes into the past. They don't talk about going into different.
If you go and read the
Ones,
comic books,
but-
they definitely didn't get their own. Those
Um,
guys are not like that.
Well, that's what. No, they. But they said they did because they want to show Scott what he becomes. So when they send him back, it can change theirs. That's
They're not gonna
that's
send him
what. Oh, they're not going to.
They're
But
gonna
that's
die.
what they
Especially
say
because he's
in the
in
very
space.
beginning.
I mean, how do you send somebody back who's in space right now? he's just out and
Which,
out.
which that makes me think of this T-shirt I saw of
That's very
Cyclops
space.
riding a laser shark with laser beams attached to his forehead, and they're both shooting their laser beams. I'm like, I need this shirt. Cyclops riding a shark with laser beams on his forehead.
With freaking laser beams attached to its head.
Speaking of comic books that I read, you'll be so proud of me. I started Fear Itself.
You're only in 2011.
I know, but I'm
We're
halfway
working
through
our way
2011.
up. So did you get past? Did you get past like Siege and all that?
Yeah, I'm way past each.
So the X-Men have one of my favorite little blips in Siege is when Norman Osborn goes crazy and they're fighting and they show, Johnny Storm leans over to Ben Grimm and goes, "Told you." And then it cuts to another panel of Cyclops and Wolverine's like, "Told you, he's crazy." That one was great. And that comic also solved the what would happen if Wolverine and Thor got into a fight where Dakin is a piece of bacon. Yeah, see what I did? See what I did there?
terrible.
But he gets
That was
special.
awful.
Yeah. Yeah, or Sentry and Thor. That was the fight, and that was it was seriously like every page was crack-a-boom,
Yeah.
crack-a-boom, ka-thud, crack-a-boom. I'm like, this is what I want. Just pictures with crack-a-boom of Thor fighting a man. That
I
was
love
good.
Dakin.
Yeah.
Dakin's one of my favorite characters.
Um.
He's like super new compared to every other character. That's my favorite character.
Oh yeah, and I didn't know this, but I didn't know that Kitty Pryde and Dazzler were introduced at the exact same time in the same issue together. I had no idea. I was like,
Yeah,
"So
because
you
they
had
go
a great one."
Yeah, they go to
Dazzler.
They get two, Cerebro gets two blips,
Mhm.
and half the team splits up and goes sees Kitty, and half the team splits up and goes sees Dazzler.
And goes to that shifty disco.
Shifty Disco, or Dark Phoenix arises from the Shifty Disco.
Shifty disco. Nothing good happens in shifty disco. That could also be the title of this. Shifty discos.
No, I like heartbeats are like hearts better. No, wait, what was it?
Shits are like heartbeats.
Shits are like heartbeats.
Awesome. So yeah, again, as long as they don't mess with, because I don't want them to start shifting creators around again in Marvel.
You know they're going to. They're
Well,
gonna
they
fuck
keep
with
stuff
everything.
fresh.
They're gonna start shifting creators because they're gonna start canceling books and creating new books.
Listen, they can start shifting as long as Mark Wade,
Cat parrot.
as long as Mark Wade stays
That's out
on
of the face,
Daredevil.
cat.
As long as Mark Wade stays on Daredevil, I'll be fine. He did survive the first round of that.
I would say, well, and he probably will, and because Daredevil seems like one of those characters who's not going to be as affected by everything else.
Which
He's
I
in his own world. Like he's part of the Marvel universe, but he is very much in his own little world. What the fuck?
That cat is like all over you, man.
This just happened.
It's just I got pussy all over me all the time. What can I say?
Damn.
Anyway, and did you hear about what DC's doing next year too?
Quitting?
I still don't. I
The
still
new
don't
New
get that,
52? The newer
The
52?
Convergence.
Oh yeah, I did read about that.
man.
They are canceling. They're suspending every one of their titles
Yeah,
for 2 months.
it's like a 48 issue event.
Every single title for 2 months. And it's actually an 80-issue event because it's 40 2-part miniseries. Brand new 2-part
Oh my
miniseries.
gosh.
No! So for 2
No.
months, we're going to get 40 new series. Dude, hold on. You're saying no? I'm the fucking comic book store owner that's got to figure out how the hell to order that shit.
So yeah, I'm just gonna. At least I'll be able to use that 2 months to get caught
To
up
get caught up
because
because
all the other DC that all the
Well, and
Batman
there's-
Eternal, and then
I'm so
really
sorry.
Batman Eternal, and then I can get caught up on more.
Yeah,
I
because you
can
got
figure
2
out
months
what's
to
going
do
on.
nothing because you're going to want them. I know
How do you read them that fast?
I get home and I read like 4.
Fucking speed reads like
I
fucking
get home
Johnny
and I read
5,
way More
dude.
than 4, and I'm still in 2011.
Because
you're reading
you will
every
not
single
read out
one.
of you read every X-Men title.
That's
Do you know how many I read? 2 X-Men's, Green Lantern, Batman.
Yeah, when you
Daredevil,
when you add all of yours
Avengers.
up together, I bet it equals mine. I don't know, maybe it's half
Probably
of mine.
not. It's probably
Let's
half
go,
of
let's go
yours.
with the X-Men titles
Currently,
So Uncanny,
Uncanny, all new,
Amazing,
amazing.
regular X-Men,
And then there was
Wolverine
the
in the
and
X-Men. Now Spider-Man in the X-Men. You have
Spider-Man and the X-Men?
Cable and X-Force.
That's right.
You have
X-Factor.
X-Factor. You
Are
have
we counting Axis into this?
Yeah, of course you would, because
Magneto.
I read that.
Okay, so Axis.
Magneto, Cyclops,
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 Storm has her own.
We're already at 12.
Okay,
Nightcrawler.
never mind.
We're
Nightcrawler
already
has
at
his own.
We're at 13.
13.
Okay, never mind.
Gambit did have one. They canceled.
Oh
they
yeah,
canceled it, but-
I have some of those, but I
What else
I
is there?
think that's it that's currently going because they canceled a couple.
What
a
is the
while back.
one with well, Astonishing is out right now. These
They can't-
Amazing.
Yeah, the Amazing still that can't take place with that.
okay,
So we're at 13.
and up the Wolverines.
Oh, and
And
Wolverine's coming out. Well, and
Legacy.
okay, so hold on. And if we're counting that as well, are you also counting Deadpool?
yes.
Okay, there's 6
Oh my
God. So there is currently Deadpool, Deadpool versus Carnage, Deadpool versus X-Force, Deadpool versus Hawkeye,
Deadpool, Art of War.
Night of the Living Deadpool, and Deadpool Art of War that have all come out in the last 6
Return of the
months.
Dead. Return of the Living Deadpool.
Return of the Night of the Living Deadpool, which is coming out. Then there is also
Return of the Night of the Living
No,
Deadpool.
Return of the Living Dead.
sorry. So that's just
Dawn
Deadpool.
of the Planet of the Dead.
Yeah. Then
So-
there's Wolverine's coming out, and then if you also count, there's also Death of Wolverine, including Wolverine that just ended.
And then
Death
the
Wolverine
Wolverine
just
the
ended.
Legacy one.
Wolverine Logan's Legacy. There is Death of Wolverine Weapon X.
We're at 20.
There is
This is why you're so behind. Because there
They
are
read all of
so many X titles.
there's like
Knock it
4 Death
off.
of Wolverine titles after the Death of Wolverine.
Oh, are we Excalibur?
Excalibur's coming back?
Is it coming back?
Yeah. Yeah. With
That made me smell different.
With Nightcrawler. Excalibur's coming back.
I love it.
He just had one of his nerd moments. Yes.
We almost killed Ryan.
So
That's why you're so far behind.
Yeah.
Because you only read X-Men. And
Right,
you're
it's a
still
simple task when
currently
you
on-
say it that way.
No, it's not at
What
all.
they
There's
need
like
to do, if they're
25
gonna
fucking
do a
X-Men
purge,
titles.
if they're gonna do a purge,
Purge some
can
of
we
the
just
X-Men.
have Uncanny X-Men?
I'm cool with Uncanny
I want,
and
like,
all new.
5.
Give us 2.
No, so
Well, I'd say Uncanny and
And then-
regular.
let's do,
Uncanny and regular X-Men.
yeah, go
Yeah,
back to the
or-
90s where you
or-
have like the blue team and the gold team, and
or
then you have
just
X-Factor,
Uncanny.
X-Force, and New Mutants. And then you're done.
No, just Uncanny. I like the Cyclops story.
Yeah.
And I like the Nightcrawler standalone. I prefer one.
Standalone.
Give me one standalone.
Nightcrawler's not gonna-
Remind me to keep an eye on Cyclops.
Standalone. Give me one team up book, and then if
Yeah.
you want a lot of X-Verse, give me 3 or 4 solos. But just one team up that I need to follow.
See, that's what when they did the Marvel Now, I was like, okay, we have Uncanny and All New. That was like the two
Then you
flagship
had
ones.
Avengers, but then
That's
you had
all you needed.
Uncanny
And then Uncanny
Avengers.
Avengers, that
because
counts.
that was an X book.
That counts. Havoc was in it, and Rogue, and
Yep.
Scarlet Witch. And
There's more than 3 or 4 X-Men characters. I'm compelled to read it.
Dude, you could have
I don't know how you
the
do
in
it.
between the first class and the
don't.
current, whatever, and it's when Magneto and Charles are kind of going head to head and calling it mind over metal.
That'd be a good miniseries.
That's cute.
It's cute. That's cute.
Yeah.
See, there's in either Avenger. It's either X or A something. So you've got with Avengers.
So
You've
kind
got
of
Avengers, New Avengers. You had Avengers Assemble. You've got what was it? The
Secret Avengers?
Secret Avengers.
Undercover Avengers.
There's a secret
Avengers
undercover.
World. Yeah. Avengers World. That's right. Avengers World.
I think of any other Avengers shows. There's less Avengers than there's X-Men at the moment.
Hickman is enough reading. You don't need all those other books because Hickman, you need to read.
Captain America, new Captain America, and the new Avengers or some shit that just came out with Blackton America at the head of it.
Captain America.
Captain's
So is
Blackton
Steve
America.
Rogers dead then?
No,
Or is he
he's
just
just
old?
No, he's just old.
Okay.
Oh,
And apparently he looks like an old man Bill Murray on the one of the covers. He does. I have a variant cover where he's kind of floating in the clouds and he looks like an old man Bill Murray.
But it's just like that's why I like you have Thor. Like you can read the
Well,
Avengers
and Thor-
books, but you can just read Thor.
And here's the other beautiful thing about
You
Thor.
can just
There's
read
Thor
Daredevil.
God of Thunder that then turned into just Thor. One title turned into another title. There's not
And it's
two
X-Men-
titles going
X-Men
on.
do that all the time.
Right,
I know,
but it's
I know.
continuing. But it's not two.
They'll
It's
have one that
splintering.
splits into two different.
And then
titles.
those two splits into 4. X-Men is Hydra.
X-Men Osmosis.
X-Men is Hydra. I figured it out. X-Men titles are Hydra.
And
El Hydra.
Not one and two will take its place.
There's each at my work, different programs have different acronyms, and one is Hydra. So whenever anybody's by my cube, at least once a day, and they talk about the Hydra program, I yell, "Hail Hydra!"
It's
Which
awesome.
is at least once a day.
We'll just do this.
Because nobody can
No,
see
you
me
got to
in my
do it
cube
like
doing that.
Doctor What's His Face in the
You
movie.
need to, if you're gonna do that, you just need to take big
Hail Hydra.
and stick it in these places. Just randomly stick Hydra logos around your workplace.
Why is there an octopus on my cubicle?
Or a shield sticker that when you turn the lights off, it glows in the dark, the Hydra logo. And you go. But see, that's why I like Captain Marvel. It's Captain Marvel. I can read like Guardians is kind of starting to turn into one of those.
Starting to it's starting to get away from that, or at least it was when I was reading it, and then it just dropped out again.
It is kind of
So, for the
bouncy
first
all
4
over the place.
issues of
It does
it's
have
its own
like
series.
its main focus every issue,
The first
but
one
like
was-
all of a sudden you start off and there's just in some random fucking place you have no idea how they got there.
The first arc was by itself, and you didn't
Yeah.
have to read any
Yeah.
other book.
Iron
You
Man
read
was
its
just
first
with them.
5 issues. Iron Man's with them. Cool. Own issue. And then fucking Infinity starts.
Yeah.
And then when
Yeah, man.
Infinity started, it was like you had to read Infinity to understand anything that was going on in Guardians. Guardians was just an extension of Infinity. You had to read Infinity in order to understand
really
Guardians, and you had to read Guardians so you could get Infinity.
I really
And then
like
for the next 3
the.
did that.
I really like see the. Really, you don't need to like for Original Sin. They were better at it. Original Sin has probably been one of my favorite ones
They did a really good job
because they have like Original Sin issues of Guardians that it takes place in like an hour because he's telling a story that happened a while ago. Like they're going into the past and telling what happened with Nova and why Drax doesn't have his little hood with the little purple widow's peak hood and why Thanos is back and all that stuff. And it's just literally Star-Lord explaining it to Gamora. So it's in between. It's a good little it's 2 issues or 3 issues.
Well,
Telling
and
the
then
story,
and then
it's back. And now
well,
it's
the
back
beautiful
on
thing
those.
about that is not only it's back, but you could read those 3 issues and have it being a standalone story.
Yeah, or you could
just
not
be reading
read those
Guardians
3
and be okay. You don't have to read Original Sin to get what's going on in those 3
they
issues.
Original Sin, I think, had a really good.
They finally did a good event.
Well,
Marvel's been struggling with crossovers.
And they did one that sales number was freaking Avengers and X-Men blew everyone out of the water because it was A and X, which is what everything is. So everything tied into it. So it was horrible trying to read it because you had to read
Which is why sales numbers went crazy because you had to read their entire
You had to-
fucking line.
But that's normal for me.
It's not okay.
That's a day in the life.
But it's like Original Sin was like, okay, boom, this
Come on.
something happened and people were affected, and something in the past. It's like the worst retcon tool ever, or the best retcon tool ever. Like, oh, this was a secret that nobody knew about. It's a little story that you didn't know, and now it's kind of thrown into their
X-Men do that all
their
the
mix.
time.
Yeah. But it was good because they just did it, and it was like 2 issues for everybody else. But their 8-issue thing was fine. You could just read that and get it. You didn't need everything else. But I still want to know what Nick Fury whispered.
Oh, they still haven't said it? I want to know that too. So when you find that out, you should just
Have
let
you
me
picked
know.
up Thor 2 yet?
Because I'm not going to read those.
Have you read it? It's good. Is it good? Have you read it?
Yeah,
I
whenever
read
there's an
the
event,
gist first.
I go on Wikipedia. And I Wikipedia the event, and then I'd be like, horror books, tie-in books, and I just scan for X-Men related stuff.
Yeah, no, the only thing I had a problem with Thor 2 is she's, who she is. I don't want to.
Is she who I think she is?
It's been long enough, just say it.
It's Thor's mom.
Okay, yeah.
Frigga.
Freya.
So
So it hasn't been long enough.
Frigga.
Thor 2 just came out yesterday.
But there was a long. It was like a.
I read that book where she picked up the hammer a long time
It was
ago.
like a
That was
2-month.
Thor
It was,
1.
yeah, I know.
Thor
But that
2
was like
just came out yesterday.
that's like a 2-month gap between them. There was a long delay in that.
Well,
But
yeah, but
the whole time-
even still, when I was talking to people about Thor 1 and they've read it, not everyone came to the same conclusion. So I didn't know if Thor 2 gave away and told everything.
No,
Same
but it's
conclusion
just-
of what?
That's Freya.
What do you mean that they didn't
They
come to the
literally
same
show
conclusion?
They literally.
She
show it
walks
in the book.
over and picks up the hammer.
They don't show her.
Yeah,
they
they
show
do.
her legs.
So
They show
then-
her hand, and then they show her in armor.
So
They don't
then
actually show her being Freya.
So
other
then
people-
this is
there was
weird.
some
This
people-
is weird though, because in the second one, she's like a lot of thought balloons, like talking to the hammer, or the hammer's talking to her, and she talks like, "Whoa, am I like totally like?" She talks like a human.
Am I like?
But then when the
She talks
words
like
talk
Now,
Keanu
now
Reeves-
she knows. Now she knows how every man feels because we all talk to our hammer.
But then when she talks to other people, it comes out in like Thor speech. Like, dost thou want more? But then she's like, wow, so what happens if I do this? I can't believe I'm like, and there's like no Asgardian talk in it. So I am
What are
really
you doing,
confused
Jason
now.
Aaron?
I trust him.
You
Because
know, I
it
know
was
you
good.
listen to this podcast. Tell us what you're doing.
I feel like him creepily looks at the camera whenever we talk about people.
Because it's the internet.
Because everyone listens to this podcast.
Because you never know. Eventually, one day that person could
And then-
watch it.
and then when he
But it
watches
might
they
be
go,
40 years from now.
That was creepy.
Or just send him that give where it goes, Jason Aaron. Just cut that and I'll email it.
See, you got to do. You got to do the. You got to do the stare dad when you do it.
Okay, now our
She wants the D. Never
Yeah,
say
so
that.
that confused me as I was reading it. I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I trust him after reading. Again, all I've read of Thor: God of Thunder was God Butcher and God Bob. But
Yeah, the cool.
After reading that, I was like, okay.
Dude, I absolutely
Let's,
love.
I have
God
faith
Butcher
in Jason Aaron.
series.
There's a different artist. It's not
God
Ribic,
Thunder.
which he's doing the art on Secret Wars, and I'm so down.
Oh, is he?
with that? I'm so down with him doing the art on that because the art on God of Thunder was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Like watercolor paint stuff.
It was like
awesome.
Greg Capullo without all the shinies on
Like
everybody.
Greg Capullo painted.
Exactly, it would be like if if he was doing pastel is basically what it would be
Not
like.
that
Okay.
cool.
Okay. I was like, it doesn't look anything like the big blocky.
Yeah. Well, like
Because
think
Capullo's
Thor's
style
job-
is
think
very
Thor's job.
blocky and
Thor's got a big blocky jaw.
it's true he does.
Though, so I can see what he was saying.
No, his just like fucking coloring style and all that stuff. It's just it like fucking nobody fucking shines right up the middle of fucking everything, which Greg Capullo tends to do, which is fantastic for his stuff. But with Thor, it was more like a pastel version of Greg Capullo's coloring, and that's what I absolutely adore.
Again, Assad Rivik was like when I first picked those up, I was like, oh, I hope this is the whole series. And he did take a few off. he did take like 3 or 4 issues off.
I just remember one. I think it was 17 that he took off. The first one he took off, and they had a guest.
The one where they punch you in the feels with Jane Foster.
No, not really. That's the one where he becomes friends with the dragon and then ends up having to kill, you know, cast the dragon out again.
Yeah, no.
Just some weird fucking offshoot
I want to be
story.
friends with the dragon.
Did I tell you about the
It's a dragon who
Jane
wants to get
Foster
drunk with
gut punch?
humans.
Dude, I totally want to be.
Yeah,
I totally want to be friends with that dragon.
I was like, I remember when I just flipped through and they're like, oh yeah, Jane Foster has cancer now. I'm like, stop giving people cancer.
Was it back in October?
It was like the same time they gave Foggy Nelson cancer in Daredevil. I'm like, stop it! Everyone is, it's contagious. Marvel Comics is contagious with cancer.
Everyone gets cancer.
You like somebody? Fuck you, they're dying.
Although George R.R. is taking over. George R.R. is now in charge of the Marvel Universe.
No, because then it would be a lot of beheadings. It wouldn't be
Steve
slow
Rogers
deaths.
wouldn't just not be Captain America. He would have been like filleted
Yeah, with his own shield.
at the Red Skull's palace.
With his own shield, he would just like somebody would just stone his shield and chopped off his head.
Yeah.
Somebody would turn into the Frisbee Killer. Have you ever watched the 80s killer movie? Frisbee Killer.
No, that's pretty awesome.
But yeah, so I saw that because I saw
Captain
the poster.
America, the Frisbee Killer.
Where
I want that miniseries.
I've lost my shield, but I've been to Toys R Us.
So it's just him and the Frisbee killer throwing Frisbees at each
What
other.
Frisbees?
No, he is the Frisbee.
He is
killer.
the Frisbee Killer.
What personality?
And can there be the eventual Deadpool
Yeah.
variant of it where Deadpool's throwing Frisbees with Bullseye back and forth?
Yes, but he can only do it on the beach.
Well, why can't
It could
Bullseye
be like
be
a-
the Frisbee killer?
One of those where Steve Rogers is trying to find the Frisbee killer, but it turns out he's the Frisbee killer. And it's split
It's
personality.
like a Tarantino.
Shutter Island style.
Yeah, Tarantino. Got a whole-
Yeah, it goes backwards. And somehow ends like fucking Reservoir Dogs.
So yeah, back to like when I
Like
read
this.
comics.
Well,
Okay,
this
let's fun. Like when you read comics, how do you read comics? I know you just
I
stack
read
them
the
all up.
words.
One hand on the book, one hand in my pants.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
in the comics.
Ryan reads a lot of his. Like Ryan reads his in order. He's in 2011. He's going to
Oh,
read
okay.
it in order.
So when you have a stack of books, how do you choose which ones you're reading?
Yeah, that
You're
or
reading.
do you just grab the stack, set it down, and start reading, or do you look through all of them and go, okay, I'm gonna want to read this one first, and then this one.
I look through all of
this
them
one,
until
or
I
do you
find
go-
one that really intrigues me, and then I go, and then I sit down and I immediately stop. That's what I did the other day. Witches came out, and I sat down and went. So all of this other stuff, okay, Witches, and then I sat down and read Witches and the New Walking Dead.
See, I
Because
think
both of
that
those
is
were
why
freaking
you
awesome.
have a stack.
Right, because I only pick out one, and then I
Yeah, one
read
or
it.
two, and you read it, and then you love those, and you ignore the other.
Well, I don't fully ignore them. I don't have time to read all of them, and then I go, oh, I'm only a month behind on this one, so I'm going to get caught up and stay caught up on this one, and then
shit about Batman Eternal.
this one, oh, dude, I'm way behind on Batman Eternal. I read issue 12.
I go into the store, and he's like, "Look at all this Batman Eternal you have. You have to read all of this."
No,
And
I'm like, look at all this
it's
money you
8
haven't spent.
issues. It is 8 issues.
The truth of it is, I'm like, look at all the money you haven't spent.
He went and pulled you.
Listen, I buy everything and then put Batman Eternal back. You're like, how are you ever gonna know what's going on?
How are you ever? It's a valid question. How are you ever going to know what's going on?
Never again. But
what?
that's what I
At least-
when I
Because
go.
Wolverine's going to your house.
No, it's not. It will go immediately from my hold back to your shelf. But
It's not going on my whole
the way I read them is like when I'll go at lunch or whatever, go to the store, get my comics, and then kind of through that second half of the day, I'm like, okay, which ones do I want to read first? I always put Daredevil on the top.
So you
Daredevil-
contemplate for like 5 hours.
Apparently.
You sit there.
No,
and
he
just
partially
really-
contemplates while he's watching the Arrow on his laptop.
So in other words, he gets his work done by lunch, and then after lunch, he sits at his desk and just goes,
I've got a beard.
Okay,
And I need to have
so-
strokey beard time where like
I sit here,
Strokey beard time.
I'm gonna watch Arrow, and then I'm gonna.
That's all
sit
I do
here
at my work.
they're too wise.
and I'll be
But
I'm gonna stroke my
Just
chin.
wait till it gets long, then it's creepier. Just
ZZ Top salad.
throw it over my shoulder like Pai Mei and kill me. But no, so I'll be like, okay, or even if I just go to go and pick them up, and then I go home, I'm like, I have some. I'll put Daredevil. Usually Marvel makes its way to the top because I feel like once I'm in the Marvel universe,
As you know, because Marvel.
because Marvel, I want, but more, or if I'm like in a mood for Green Lantern, I'll put all my DC stuff on top because I want to get that universe taken care of.
You know what floats to the top of
And
my
then
stack?
X-Men.
X-Men.
You know
Your
what?
entire
I
stack
was gonna
is
say,
X-Men.
how does it float to the top of your stack? Stop. How does it float to the top of your stack when it's entirely is X-Men?
If you cut it, does it not X-Men?
So like, like Daredevil, Captain Marvel, X-Men will usually be on the top, and then Avengers is at the bottom because I'm like of the Marvel section because I'm like I have to focus, and I want to get the fun ones out of the way that I'm excited to read, and then I go, and then like they're all fun, but levels of fun, and then I'll go like every time I do
Layers.
DC always starts out with Green Lantern, then like Harley Quinn, and then all the Batmans are
See,
after that.
I basically start off with Batman, and then I don't read
Batman.
the rest of them.
Yeah, I know. And that is why you have a massive stack of comics.
Oh, you guys have no idea. That box there, that's just my Marvel. Actually, what I usually start with is my indies.
I
don't
see
even jump
neither
into
of
the
them in
superhero
Deadpool.
stuff until way later on. Yeah, I have those.
Have you read it?
I read the first 2 issues, and then I got distracted by
Why
something.
didn't you just get the fucking whole
the
fucking
trade?
thing?
Because I was getting them when they were coming out.
Trade motherfucking paperback.
I
See,
get
but
them
if
as
Then
they
you can read it on the
See-
shitter, man.
See, if you trade weight and you don't buy the individual issues, you're not going to get a second trade. So there has to be people like us that buy the single issues so
Right.
you can buy the trade.
That's what he said.
You mean they don't make everything into a trade?
It feels like they write that way sometimes. We're like, oh, well, we finished up the arc. of
Yes.
4, then let's
Yes.
fill
Yes.
it for the next 3. and then
Yes.
Trade 7. There you go.
Dude, I wouldn't have been able to read Deadpool Secret Invasion if it wasn't in a fucking trade paperback because each one was just like, okay.
Some stories,
And okay, and that's the continuation
some
of that part.
stories do read better in trade.
Yes.
That's very
They
much true.
really do. But
Usually
some-
crossovers.
Yeah.
Big crossovers and big events always read better in trade because it will put the timeline in order for you, especially if you get the companions to the crossover event. It will put
See,
all of those issues where they
That's why,
belong.
because I'm
And
in the
you're not just like,
process
"Oh,
of going back and getting like all through trades and like the omnibus and stuff, all of Daredevil, Omnibuy.
I know a guy that
Kalima.
So I have the one that gets it's like Daredevil #1 to right before Frank Miller, and then I have the 3 Frank Millers, and then now I'm at Kevin Smith. I know there's Ann Nesenti's run in there that I gotta figure out if they can put that in trade because no one read it. But I guess I need to restart my computer later.
Later
Um,
podcast going on. Fuck you, Windows.
But so that's kind of like I'm doing.
No, that'll dump the podcast.
So I'm doing the same thing you are, but I'm reading on with Daredevil,
Which
with
means-
one title,
which means it's literally
one title.
So we have Daredevil and we have X-Men, and Daredevil is actually one title, and X-Men
All
has
the way through.
37,000 titles.
See, the thing I don't like is since they did the Marvel Now Marvel.
They
They- that's-
rebooted without doing a new 52 reboot because
That's-
they were too big of a pussy.
But Daredevil, literally, he changed cities, and now that's a new volume of Daredevil. So you got like 38 issues of Mark Waid
And
for
then you
volume
have
3, which there's 4 volumes of Daredevil. So you have one that went from 1964 to 98, and then Kevin
In
Smith.
one title?
Yes,
That's
one
amazing.
title. Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't canceled like the X-Men was.
Well, they just brought Black Widow in it. It was Daredevil and Black Widow for a while, which was smart, but because it's still the same damn title. It wasn't. We stopped Daredevil and then did Daredevil and Black Widow and then did a Daredevil and then a Black Widow and then a Daredevil.
I just-
Bullseye
The reason
and
it's happening now is because after the 90s, every publishing company is scared to go over number 50. They're all scared to go to too high of numbers because people go, oh, it's on number 50. Yeah, I don't want to read any first ones. Well, dude, you can jump in here. No,
that was a good thing with the
So that's why they keep reading
Marvel Now, the where they
Now.
did the point one.
Yeah, they tried to do the Point One initiative, and then that
See-
didn't work.
see,
So then
I-
they did Marvel Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it sucked because Captain Marvel was only 17 books in, and then they're like, nope, number one. So now there's 2 volumes within 3 years
Carol Danvers.
of
Captain
Carol
Marvel.
Danvers' Captain Marvel. But
By the
Daredevil,
way, they better place
Daredevil
the
went
way up
from
Kelly's
2011 to 2014, and that's volume 3. So literally, volume 1 is the chunk of it, and then you have Kevin Smith, Brian Michael Bendis, Ed Brubaker. They all did. Rick Remender did all Daredevil up until Mark Waid.
And that was
And
the
then Mark Waid was-
Marvel Knights.
Marvel Knights is a different. It's an offshoot. That's kind of
So you're not reading that portion of it, because that is still technically Daredevil.
Yeah, but I'm
So you're not doing what you did with
reading
X-Men.
mainline Daredevil. Just Daredevil. Like I'm gonna go back and probably pick because that's its own like 8-issue
Right.
thing here.
It's not long.
So like there's Daredevil End of Days and Daredevil like all those ones too that are little like 8-issue miniseries. After I complete my from 1 to now, then I'll go back through and I do have a few of them already, but so that's kind of how I go about like collecting and reading with all of them.
I grab whatever I can,
Can I just
and then
say
I read what I want.
that once I want someone to ask Daredevil something, I just want him to be like, "Do I have to spell it out for you? I'm blind." Just once.
You need to read the incredible. You need to read the How did you think that was? Those are
I was just rubbing my thigh for an hour and a half.
Have you the first trade of
hate an
Daredevil?
ashtray.
No, no.
He gets like outed as Daredevil, and they're like for like the 5th time, and he walks around and like people come and rip open his shirt, and he wears a red shirt under his business attire that says "I'm not Daredevil," and I'm like I'm going to order that shirt in hopes that one day
Somebody will run
someone
up and rip
will
open
run
your
up and
shirt.
rip open my shirt to see. I'm
That's definitely not going to be the wifey,
I
huh?
don't think that
It may happen.
I can open
See?
your shirt
See,
if you want.
see. In public, just at Walmart.
Yeah, we'll stage it.
You're
Not Daredevil. I knew it.
Stage it, and I'll run. We'll do it in the checkout
Dude,
area,
no,
and I'll
I'm
run
not
from
there-
one side of the store to the other and just rip open your shirt.
I'm not Daredevil, but I am Spider-Man.
On the back. And then I take my shirt off and go. I forgot. I always forget the. Oh, it's JL8. It's like the Justice League. It's a webcomic of like the Justice League as 8-year-olds, and
Oh, yeah, I
it is
remember
hilarious. And they still hit you in the feels, like when Clark and Bruce are walking home, and Clark goes, "Bye, Bruce," and he runs up and hugs his parents and stuff, and Bruce hangs his head and walks back to the gigantic house where Alfred's sitting there waiting for him, and they watch monster movies.
Come on, Master Wayne.
I
Come in,
want-
I've made some
I want
tea for you.
It's great. It's
Awesome.
great. But they have one that's like Green Lantern and Superman and Batman see a lady get mugged, and Green Lantern and Superman take off to go get him. And Batman's like, "Wait up!" And he's got to run. And so they already have the guy subdued and tied up on the ground. Superman, punched him in the face, and Green Lantern got him tied up, and Batman comes running up, and throws a batarang and hits him in the face. Dink. It's
That's pretty awesome.
that's another one that I suggest some people read.
Why is it? Oh, wait. Because I'm Batman. I set you up for that, didn't I?
Anyone got anything else you want to cover before we wrap this shorter podcast up? Well, it's short.
It wasn't shorter. It was
Shorter
about the
is
same length,
about the same.
I'm
actually.
pretty sure we're like an hour and a half.
Hey, you're right.
Hey, shut up, little girl.
Hey.
Podcast played
Hey, Nerd
podcasts
Store.
and shit.
Oh yeah,
This guy, Nerd Store,
yeah.
Valley Fair Mall.
You can buy hoodies and shit.
You can, and they say Nerd Store or other things.
And if you look on the racks, there's a little tiny pink sticky note
It's awesome.
that says Nerd Dome Podcast Picks by Luke.
I'm actually decided I'm going to
A
get
sticky
Nerd Dome
note?
podcast its own
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Just
in
out in
the
the little
store
section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Edgar's picks.
You guys helped this become
It says
possible.
Nerd Dome Podcast picks by Luke at Nerd Dome Podcast.
And it's
then there's
Daredevil and
Daredevil and Cyclops. And they teamed it between the two of them. So if someone wants one, they gotta take the other.
See the marketing?
And I left it. It was awesome.
I was like, by the way, I advertised in your store.
Oh, and we're giving away a PlayStation 4. So yeah,
To me.
come in for that.
To me.
Or don't.
No, do.
Okay, do.
Don't tell people not to do. Come in my
No,
store.
do, but write Luke on it.
Just write.
I think podcast members should be excluded from contests.
If I'm spending money.
My employees are.
Fucking
Employees. They're not here, so I can say shit.
Well, they could probably listen to this.
Well, they're probably going to, but I don't care.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
bye.
Thanks, bye. Is that how we're signing off?
Yeah. Just kidding, bye.
I say.